Minera de Cobra Cabradona, mining with purpose. Cabradona is an underground mining project for copper and other minerals. Cabradona project has been designed considering the following concepts. 1. Implementation of cutting-edge technology, efficient consumption of energy and natural resources, and maximizing the use of electrical equipment. 2. Reduce environmental impacts and implementing circular economy strategies. 3. Support local communities to meet the sustainable development goals of the region defined by the United Nations. 4. Improvement of natural and social capital and implementation of shared value strategies with the communities, municipality, and the region. 5. Create a positive legacy developing an early landscape architecture through the construction of a new biodynamic park for the stages of construction, operation, closure, and post-closure. The project is in Colombia, in the Department of Antioquia, in the municipality of Jerico, 104 kilometers southwest of Medellin. The project is located in 2 zones of the municipality. The first part is the deposit located in the Cabradona hamlet in the land property of El Dequito, owned by the project, where there is currently a pine plantation. It is located 12 kilometers from the urban center of Jerico, 707 meters from the integrated management district Cuchilla-Jarín-Támesis, and 320 meters from the municipal border of Támesis. The second part is where the infrastructure will be built, which is located in Cauca Hamlet, 2,400 meters away from the Cauca River, 3 kilometers from Puente Iglesias, and 37 kilometers from Jerico. Jerico has about 12,103 inhabitants in an area of 19,300 hectares, of which there will be a direct intervention on 610,068 hectares with the project, equivalent to 3.16% of the total area of the municipality. The project's influence area includes the urban center of Jerico and Cabradona, Vatecitos, La Soledad, La Cabaña, La Viña, Buga, Palenque, La Pista, La Hermosa, Palacabildo, and Cauca hamlets, and the populated center of Puente Iglesias. Minera de Cobra Cabradona has been in the territory for 14 years developing surface and subsoil prospecting and exploration studies, as well as social, environmental, technical, and economic feasibility analysis for the development of modern mining with the highest sustainability standards, allowing it to generate and share value with the region. Upon obtaining the environmental license, the construction and assembly stage begins. It will have an approximate duration of 4 years, a 21-year exploitation, a 3-year closure, and a 10-year post-closure period for a total of 38 years. The construction and assembly stage will begin with the development of infrastructure works such as access and roads, topsoil, preparation of areas, and a tunnel portal. During the whole construction time, all the necessary measures will be taken to minimize the intervention on the landscape and its surroundings. 2 tunnels will be built in the portal, namely the southern and northern tunnels with a distance of 50 meters between them, each 6 kilometers long in parallel. Both will have an initial 10 times 10 meter section, and they will be built using construction machinery. At 300 meters, the 2 tunnels will change sections to 6 times 6 meters, and they will be built using the drilling and blasting method. At 1.5 kilometers above the northern tunnel, a fork will be built and a tunnel will begin its construction diagonally upwards in a 6 by 6 meter section. It will be built using the drilling and blasting method until it reaches the ore body, implementing the most modern and efficient controls to ensure that vibrations are not perceived on the surface. 4 ventilation shafts will be built close to the ore body and where the exploitation sublevels will be developed in order to ensure a constant flow of air into the deposit. For the development of the project, landscape impact management is a priority from Minera Cabradona. This is why, during the operation of the project, controls will be continued to minimize the impact on the landscape in such a way that it is not affected by the presence of the project. The amount of water to be captured from the Cauca River will be less than 0.25 cubic meters per second, which means less than 1% of the flow of the river. This water will be used for construction, operation, closure, and post-closure activities. The camp, workshop, offices, plant, and powder magazine will be built, and a landscape management will be implemented to allow the integration of the infrastructure to the environment. In order to manage the water, sediments, ponds, and plants will be built to treat the domestic and non-domestic effluents generated by the project, thus ensuring that all water like acid rocks drain or tailings drainage are treated correctly with active or passive treatments, guaranteeing compliance with environmental legislation and their quality when they are returned to the Cauca River. Quebradona will not use substances such as mercury and cyanide during all of its phases. The operation will be carried out using the sub-level caving exploitation method. This method is based on the use of drilling and blasting to fracture the mineralized body under controlled conditions, starting at the top of the deposit and moving sequentially down through 21 uniform and horizontal sublevels. The ore resulting from the blasting is removed from each sublevel with the use of loaders, and it is taken to a shaft called ore pass, where the ore will be dumped. This shaft connects all sublevels to a transfer level, from where the material will be transported to the underground crushing station, located 1 kilometer deep from the surface, in such a way that noise and air impacts are controlled. The ore benefit process begins with the crushing inside the mine, and then the ore is transferred through a belt conveyor to an ore stockpile to begin the process at the plant. Then it is taken to a secondary crushing and, finally, to a grind where sizes of particles smaller than that of sand will be obtained. Through a flotation of concentration process, copper, gold, and silver will be recovered. After being filtered, a concentrate of copper, gold, and silver with the moisture required by the market. This concentrate is transported in containers to the port of Buenaventura by trailer trucks. The material not recovered by the flotation process is called tailings and goes through a selective separation process where the inert material is separated from the pyrite. Both the inert tailings and the pyrite are filtered to a moisture which guarantee the stability of the infrastructure and are transported through the project's internal roads by 30 to 40-ton trucks from the stockpile to the tailings and pyrite deposit without affecting Jericho and its access roads. The pyrite deposit will have an insulation with geomembrane and covers with a minimum height of 10 meters of filtered tailings in order to isolate oxygen and water to avoid the generation of acid drainage. Throughout a process plant, more than 80% of the water will be recirculated. Organic reagents will be used, energy will be consumed efficiently, and all measures will be taken to control noise, dust, and lighting. And most importantly, there will be a demanding environmental handling of the tailings and the landscaping and architectural design of the project. During the operating time, the filtered tailings deposit plan and pyrite deposit plan are directly related to the progress of the mine sublevels. As of the 3rd year of operation, the subsidence phenomenon will begin inside the surface of the El Chiquito and property, which is owned by the project. This will be progressive and controlled throughout the 21 years of the exploitation stage and will generate the following within the subsidence: the continuous subsidence zone, the fracture zone, and the caving zone. With the closure plan, we will implement all the necessary activities to facilitate the prevention, control, mitigation, and compensation of the impacts generated by the mining complex in order to leave a positive legacy behind the economic and productive contributions of the project. Mine closure and post-closure include the following. For the deposit area, plugging of the ventilation shafts and construction of perimeter dikes around the subsidence zone in order to prevent the entry of people and terrestrial fauna of larger species, and the planting of trees with the aim of implementing native natural covers that are integrated into the ecosystems near the project. In the valley area, the decommission of infrastructure and revegetarization of excavation material disposal zones, ZADMAs, the filtered tailings deposit, the camp platforms, the plant, workshops, offices, and the powder magazine, thus ensuring the homogeneity of the landscape and a passive treatment system for the water coming from the tunnels and the tailings deposit. Jerico has an important natural richness due to its thermal floors and different ecosystems, such as the tropical dry forest and mountain forests, which have been modified by different activities over time. Minera de Cobre Quebradona will support the regional connectivity strategy for the recovery of these ecosystems with the implementation of the 1% investment plan and the compensation plan, which will preserve, rehabilitate, recover, and generate sustainable uses of 2,548.60 hectares, previously defined, this being one of the largest investments to improve the natural capital in the history of Jerico. Our legacy will be 1. Improve the connectivity of the region's ecosystems. Developing our project with high international standards, with cutting-edge technology and the best global practices, respecting and protecting not only biodiversity and sources of water, but seeking to improve the natural capital of the region. And 2. Promote the generation and transfer of knowledge through the creation of a purposeful rehabilitated territory with the premise of articulation to the culture and landscape of the region. To do this, consideration must be given to the fact that over the years, there has been a transformation of the natural landscape with the development of economic activities. The legacy is that, with the development of the project, a new landscape will be created, including the construction of a biodynamic park, i.e., a park that will be developed as the phase of mineral extraction progresses and built in tandem with the closure plan. The park will be located where the project infrastructure is developed and will consist of 1. Educational infrastructure and research, whose objective is to transform the project into the laboratory to promote research for the conservation and preservation of regional species, allow the generation of knowledge with the interaction of the project, the community, and the academy. 2. Overlook infrastructure, bamboo modules and vegetable shelter for birdwatching to generate the interaction of man with nature. 3. Power infrastructure, focused on the power generation of the infrastructure of the park with the use of solar gardens, wind turbines, and fog-catching system. 4. Tropical dry forest landscape units, restoration of natural covers, production of timber forest, guajua and fruit, and implementation of wildlife crossings. Quebradona is and will be a great generator of jobs and opportunities for Jerico and the region. The construction stage will require 3,000 people, both directly and indirectly. The operation stage will require 1,500 people, and the closure and post-closure stage will require 450 people. The largest amount of local and regional labor will be hired, and we will coexist and potentiate other livelihood activities in Jerico. Minera de Cobre Quebradona is mining with a social, economic, and environmental purpose committed to Jerico, Antioquia, and Colombia.